The other thing we spoke about this morning was, of course, I'm a Celebrity, because we will be watching it avidly. Judy, you've been watching it. What are you thinking of Jane and Grace? I think they're doing amazingly.
Yeah, I think they're doing really great. I mean, I love that, you know, we're seeing our two loose ladies speaking and seeing their personalities. I think Grace was great when she did the trial. I honestly, I thought she wasn't going to be able to do it, I'm going to be honest.
But she's so
She blew us away.
She surpassed, as you said, herself and got all 10. And Jane, you know, we're seeing a side to her that we see all the time, you know, where she's so caring and loving. And I just love that, you know, she's got these little quotes and things that she's doing when people are feeling a certain kind of way. And she's just so knowledgeable. And I think it's just her. You're seeing her.
I think Jane will get fed up if she doesn't do a trial.
Yeah.
I saw her face when she didn't get the first one. Everybody went, yeah, and Jane was disappointed. However, last night, because it has drown in the title, her and I have a fear of water as well. So I think she would genuinely be relieved not to do the one with water.
But she's
otherwise,
a doer, isn't she?
Yeah, but I think that it's difficult for people to vote for Jane because she does seem somebody that would just absolutely smash it without getting worried about it. So they might think it's not going to be that entertaining, whereas Dean, on the other hand...
Yeah, I mean, to score highly in I'm a Celebrity, from my own experience, I was lucky enough to do the very first trial, which was with snakes in a thing. And I got, you know, I got bitten by snakes and I just carried on. And then the public never voted for me to do another trial because it was obvious.
Too competent.
Too competent. And the other thing that gets you really noticed in the jungle is to have a row, to have, you know,
well, you wouldn't do that, Janet.
I had rows with everybody.
You should have won then, Janet.
Well, that kept me in there because I did the cooking. And I think what Jane is nice and kind.
Everyone's nice in there, though,
but
aren't
they always are at the beginning. I mean, we're in the honeymoon period, folks. I mean, Janet, when does the honeymoon period end?
Oh, when they get really hungry, which is about 3 days in, because they think that the rice and beans is suddenly they're going to get salt or something like that.
Yeah, but why did no one get salt as a luxury item? I would have been furious if I didn't get salt.
Are they allowed food?
Or a glycerin suppository in case I couldn't poo.
Thanks for sharing, Denise. Glad you're feeling better. The thing is, Tulisa's the one that I predict is going to kick off about cooking because you can see she's itching to get in there.
Jane won't be itching to do
No, she's staying away. But the other thing that Tulisa came out with last night, which was quite an interesting revelation for early doors, well, actually, we've got a little clip. You can see it yourself.
I feel like I'm a bit demisexual. Like, I need to have a really close emotional bond built with someone. I'm a slow burner. Like I said, I've been celibate for over 3 years. It's what it is. But
and what's it like being celibate?
I don't feel like, for me, that there's any feeling to it. Like I said, I'm not an overly sexualised person. For me, it's all about the connection and the emotions that I feel with someone, and then wanting to express my feelings for them in that way.
It's interesting.
That's brought back. It's triggered me. Those fireside conversations.
What, the jungle or celibacy?
The words demisexual. What is that?
What does
Is that
it
something
mean?
I could go down the doctor's surgery and get an injection for? Is it like
it's more about having that. You need that emotional stimulation for that relationship to go any further.
They've got a label for everything now.
Yes.
Judy is our sex correspondent. She knows these things.
I'm amazed, though, that celibacy was discussed around the camp.
Why?
Oh, it's made my nose go all itchy.
Oh, my God!
But you could see, actually, that Dean and Alan were kind of incredulous that this woman would be talking about celibacy.
Do you think with celibacy that sometimes it's because you... So, say, for example, she has been, you know, electively celibate for 3 years, that she just hasn't met anybody whose clothes she's wanted to rip off, because I just wouldn't have had that control.
Well, if I'm honest, I think I've said before, I've chosen to be celibate several times. I did a good, 3.5 years celibacy, I did another 2.5 years. And
was that your demisexual years?
Well, I would probably say I'm demisexual.
Making it sound like a prison sentence.
No, it's not. It was, do you know what? It was a choice. I had a relationship, this was, about 10 years ago, a person that I really, really, really was, intoxicated by. And I felt like I wanted to, like, kind of cut all that emotional tie. So I didn't feel like I wanted to sleep with anybody else if I still had this emotional connection to this other guy. So I chose and made the decision to be celibate. And trust me, there was people I met in the time that I definitely wanted to rip their clothes off, but I had stuck to my guns of, like, no, until I feel like there's someone that really deserves all of this.
But then you missed out on the knicker-ripping people that you met.
I don't. And the thing is, I don't think I missed out because those people didn't want to stay around. So, and I need that emotional connection for me to feel like it can go any further. I can meet people and think, oh God, you're nice, but then after that, it's like there's no stimulating conversation.
You're so much more mature than me.
Same as me.
But you know what? Hearing what you said about it, how it makes you feel fun, it's strange because I remember one time when I first was celibate for like 3.5 years, you know, I was at this event and like this dinner party and someone there knew about it and they brought it up as a conversation and like was making jokes out of me, mocking me, like saying like, you know, like, oh, maybe you can't.
Horrible.
And it was, honestly, I thought it was something quite liberating for myself.
Yeah.
I was going through a personal and spiritual journey, you know, being comfortable with my body.
Were you quite young then, Judy?
I was about 27 or so, maybe a little bit younger. And it was just, no, younger, I was much younger, I was about 23. So the fact that they were making this like a joke and talking about, you know, my personal body, I was quite shocked that as a young 20-something-year-old woman who had decided that I'm going to refrain from sex until I feel emotionally available, I was really put back at that. I thought that would be something more to celebrate.
Yeah. It is a difficult thing to say, and it's interesting to see the reaction to Tulisa. And, I mean, it's kind of inbuilt in us. I mean, I can see, Janet, you're going, do not compute.
No, it's another era
It's
for
another
me.
world to be in, Janet.
I just, you know, if I saw someone and I fancied them, that was it. I didn't...
Married or not?
Well, no, I've never had an affair with... No. Even I have some standards. No.
Well, trust me, just want to say I'm not celibate now, OK?